Good morning, Pro Crew. Welcome back to our live stream. Hopefully y'all are doing well on this Thursday. Yeah, it's been a pretty good week so far here at Cabrota. Again, kind of jumping into some different trades, talking about some different stuff, calling the market. So hopefully y'all are with us the last couple days, checking us out. But yeah, welcome to the live stream. Looks like Street Maker's here. Terry's already here, so welcome, guys. Thank you for joining the stream. Hopefully we can go ahead and check it out and kind of see what we've got going on today. I'm gonna grab some stuff real quick and then we can kind of jump into it. I'm actually gonna go to this screen real fast and grab my theme for the stream, so we'll kind of be hanging around waiting for a second for some people to join up. All right, let's get into it. So yeah, hopefully y'all are doing well today. Been kind of jumping on the market, seeing what's going on. As far as what I was kind of looking at beforehand, it's not looking like we're gonna have too great of a day today, but you never know. You know, we'll have to jump into it, kind of see what's going on. We're gonna kind of look at a little bit of the macro setup again today, kind of get everything set up ready, look at our different things for well, let's make sure we're on Bitcoin, I guess. We'll make sure, kind of see what's going on, see where we're kind of at now that the week's kind of played out, and see kind of how this move kind of helped us just kind of get up more into a zone of maybe flipping to that bullish side. So I don't know, interesting week here for sure. But yeah, we're gonna have to look at some different things like that, kind of jumping into it, and then yeah, kind of seeing what trades we got, stuff like that. And then at the end we'll have time for some questions. So if you guys want to kind of pop some questions into the chat as we're kind of running through the live today, then we'll try to answer all those at the end, or I guess throughout the live stream. So yeah, like I said, feel free to throw your questions in the chat, and otherwise just enjoy the stream. Yeah, let's start with checking out the trade from yesterday. So yesterday we called this trade right here, and we got it on the charts already. And these are actually the lines from yesterday, so you can kind of see them on there. We were looking like it was going to break up, so we were talking about it. We called the breakout. Well, like right in here somewhere. Oh, excuse me. It ended up breaking up. Our predator lines were like, well, what is this? Yeah, 845. So our predator lines were like right here and right here. We jumped in right here on this candle after we closed above the predator line. And then we just rode it up all the way up to T2. That was the pull. This was the pull here for our trade. Ran it all the way up, got out right at the top, and took a nice little trade for yesterday. We actually called Ethereum as well, and that was the same case. Had to get in a little later because the predator line was actually like right here, so ended up getting in a little bit above it, and then took it up all the way up to T2 as well. So pretty nice little trade on both Ethereum and on Bitcoin. One thing is that I did end up jumping into a position that I won on Wex yesterday, and I was kind of talking about that on the live stream. I did actually kind of get screwed up a little bit on that. So whenever you whenever we talk about trading here on the stream, and we're talking about it, and just really any professional kind of talks about it, the way that they're going to kind of refer to their trade is they're going to use the stops. So if I said, you know, I'm going to put a $100 trade on this, then that would mean that my stop is a $100 loss at my stop. So I actually would end up putting actually more money on this, especially if I'm using leverage. So in reality, it might be like a, I don't know, we'll just do something simple. Like, I haven't really broken it down that much, but maybe it's like a $500 trade in reality. And I'm saying, well, I'm have a $100 loss right here, and then I'm taking it up. And really, like, why we would say that is because you're risking $100 right at your loss, and you're going to make 300 if you are doing a 3-to-1. So technically it's just like, that's the way that you should think about it. It's just the professional way to think about it. It's how you're actually putting the trade on. Even though you're technically risking more money, you're not, because you're not going to lose more money if you set it up this way. Now, could things go awry and maybe it comes down and actually hits your liquidation because of mess ups in the software or whatever? Yes, that's technically true, but overall that doesn't happen very much, and it's just more likely that you're going to get out on your stop. So that's what we're saying on the channel when we're talking about it. However, the way that a lot of trading platforms and stuff will write it, if they're trying to get you excited about stuff and stuff, things like that, is they actually multiply whatever they're giving you by the X. So for example, yesterday when I thought I got a $500 trade, I was excited because I was like, well, $500 stop, right? So that's a pretty good trade. $500 stop, make 15 on the top, 1500. However, the way they were saying it is, well, it's a $500 trade and you're using 100x, so really it's a $5 trade times 100x, and you're trading a $500 spot position. It's essentially what they're saying. And obviously it's not a spot position, but you know, like, when you're thinking about it, it's $500 on the market. So when you get up to here, $500 worth of Bitcoin is worth whatever amount, right? So essentially you're only trading a $5 trade with a stop of $5. So, you know, you get to the top up here, you're only making 15. So just fair warning, I guess, if you were jumping into a trade like that, or you get something like that, just make sure you read it a little bit more. More than likely it's going to be talking like that because they're just trying to get you excited about the money, and they're not really giving you $500, only giving you $5. So yeah, just you know, take my mistake as learning curve. Luckily we got into the Ethereum trade as well, so we didn't end up really losing anything. Well, I mean, I guess we wouldn't have lost anyways, but you know, we made some money on Ethereum, made a little, 15 bucks on Bitcoin, so it was all right in the end. Just make sure, you know, take my unfortunate decision as a little bit of a warning, I guess, for if you're looking to do that for yourself. Overall, let's kind of check out the macro and how we've kind of changed. So we almost flipped this 21 yesterday, which is making for some interesting price action here, because if we do flip this 21, the next resistance is going to be that flip line. If we can get above that, then that will be a sign that we're looking to flip more of a bullish trend here. So definitely interesting. A lot depends on today and tomorrow, so just definitely something to watch as we're going into the weekend. Maybe even I believe this Sunday is like, well, it's like Sunday mornings, like close in the market, so it might be Saturday night, I don't remember. Here, let's, oh, never mind. Oh no, that's the daily. One sec. Let's see, we got the weekly, 3 days and 10 hours. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and 10 hours. So yeah, Sunday. Anyways, basically by Sunday you want to be kind of seeing this candle up here somewhere. If not, flipping this line would be nice. That would be showing us for sure we're starting to flip the market, seeing it go to the upside. But yeah, just interesting price action there. So we're looking to flip there. That'll flip us more bullish. As of right now, we're still kind of in that neutral zone. Technically leaning to the bear side because we are below the 50% line, but we haven't really confirmed that we're going to continue down. And we've kind of talked about some other factors, you know, on the live in the past couple days, just some different things like the fear and greed index. Different divergences, stuff like that. Some things are pointing up, some things are pointing down. So a tough time to kind of be in the market there. So definitely something to be mindful of, and just be watching this longer time frame and watching for us to flip that flip line at 70,500, 71,000 ish area, and then we'll be looking for that 200 next. But yeah, that's what we kind of want to see if we're going to flip bullish. If we're going to continue bearish, we want to kind of see it break below this line and continue down. Honestly, not super excited if it does flip bearish. It's just not in a great point to flip bearish. It definitely could, but it's just not in a great point. So we'll see what happens here. We can want the market to do whatever we want, but it's not going to do that. It's going to do whatever it wants to do, and it will let us know. So we'll just have to pay attention and see what happens with that and take it if it does. Great place to rest on top of the daily 21. And we could, you know, like if we get a little bit more of a break, we could just kind of sit here on this daily 21, and that'll kind of bring us up and back through this resistance if we want to do that. And it could be a little slower if that happens. I don't know, we'll see. For today, it's looking more like we're probably just going to sit there. But I don't know, let's jump into that, kind of set up our charts and see what the battle box thinks that we're going to do for today. So we'll head on over to our battle box session control tab here. We got our asset picked as Bitcoin. We got our New York future session already picked as well. So you can go ahead and initiate the calibration. This down here is just a timeline. If you haven't seen it before on our website, basically it's just like when the market opens, when the battle box is kind of calibrating and working through some stuff. And execution is when you can actually click the button and get the levels out of it. And then the close is kind of when the market's kind of done for the day. And the battle box will still work, but like it's just done for the day. Down here we got our levels populated already. So we got our daily resistance, breakout trigger, breakdown trigger, and daily support. These are all different support and resistances. If you don't know what those are, just look it up on YouTube. We actually even have a video covering this, but essentially it's just a spot in the chart where you're going to see the chart kind of slow down or have some sort of resistance or just a slowdown. It could be a reversal happens there. It could be just that the chart you kind of see a little bit of fighting and then a breakdown. And these are all throughout each chart. I mean, you could have 1 minute support and resistances. You could have 15 minute. You could have daily. Obviously, the higher up you go, the more strong those support and resistances are. But you can also do them based off of math and a whole bunch of other stuff. Ours here on the channel are going to be solely based more off of math. And we also use another type of support and resistance called the Fibonacci levels. And those are also pretty interesting. Go check those out if you haven't seen those before. But yeah, essentially they are just a point in the chart where we're going to see some kind of resistance. These two are more of daily levels, so that's means they're a little bit stronger. Something to be kind of mindful of as we're jumping into that. Mostly what we're going to use them for, though, is actually to kind of predict the price action and to kind of figure out when we're going to jump into a trade. So these four are right here. You can go ahead and copy them here and just kind of copy the numbers and put them into your chart on your own lines. or you can use our indicator. Our indicator is found in the indicators tab up here, and we have some videos covering how to get those on your chart. But once you have that on your chart, you just hit copy indicator data, head back to your chart, and you can paste it into the settings in your chart. So mine is a little bit of a different indicator name, but it works exactly the same. So we're going to paste the level string. We'll just copy this here and paste it. If you want the actual indicator name, it's going to be Kubota BattleBox command sender, or just commands renderer, and that'll be the indicator you use. Okay, so these are our levels for today. And I'm not sure why the purple line is dotted today, but I guess that's how it is. So we got our breakout trigger up here. We got our breakdown trigger right here. Daily support is right behind it in blue, and daily resistance is right here in red. It looks like we're going to have some volume to the downside today, I guess, just based off of how that candle's reacting. But based off of our lines, it's saying that nothing's going to happen today. It's going to be a sideways junk day, basically. So there's nothing to be really excited about, nothing to be really like wanting to kind of jump into. Obviously, you know, the market could trade down like we're seeing right now. It's trading down, it's breaking our levels technically. If we got a close here, that would be an entry. We haven't hit all the check boxes, but our trigger, I guess, is happening. So and what I mean by that is, like, when you build a system, you have different things that you need to look for, and things that need to happen before you can jump into a trade, or to tell you how good of a trade setup it'll be. So like it'd be things like the gap within our thing, the macro trend, the predator line being outside the thing. You could have I don't know, just different things, kind of like that. And then your triggers. So that would be like your checklist, like before. So you're looking at the chart, and those are the things you're checking off. Like these, okay, it hit this, it did, we have like a 5% gap, and then we have the predator lines set up like outside of the thing, and then the candle came down and is below both of them. And then the triggers would be like, okay, now you have a 15-minute close below the predator line, as well as the either the breakdown line or the breakout line, I guess, depending on which way you're going. But we're below our predator low, and we're below our breakdown line right now. So that would technically be a trigger. However, our checklists are not met because we don't have the gap. And that's one of the main things that we're looking for here on the channel, is that gap. Because without the gap, our system, at least, is basically telling us that nothing is going to happen. And it's more than likely that this is just a fake out, or a bear trap, or whatever you want to call it. I guess, I don't know if it'd be considered a bull trap or a bear trap. I don't know. Those get confusing. But basically, it's a trap. The candle's going to go down, come back up. It's essentially what our trade's saying. Now, could it continue down? Yes, it absolutely could. And it could break down for the whole day. And our system could be wrong. But the way that you make money when you're trading is trading your system. So if you're not going to trade that system, then you're going to lose money. Like, that's all you really got to say. And right now, our system is saying don't trade, so we're just going to stay out of it. And you know, you kind of got to think of it this way. It's just that if you're doing what your system is telling you to do, then you're winning. So right now, our system is saying don't trade, and we're not trading. So that means we're winning for the day. Even though price action might go down, and we could have made $300 or whatever, because you always could have made, like, looking back, hindsight is always going to be 20/20. You can always be like, oh yeah, well, if I could have took you know, this move or whatever, none of it is always going to work. Yeah, I think it is going to the 15200 too, Spirit Maker. And you know, like, even when you get better at reading charts, you might be able to be like, oh yeah, it's like, this candle, this is going to continue down. We're going to go to the 15,200, and you might even be able like pretty good at calling at, but even still, you cannot trade without your system telling you like what's going on. So like Spirit Maker, he's been around the channel for a little while. He helps us out on making videos and stuff like that. He does all of our daily recap videos. He builds the channel with us, but like even still, he's not going to be jumping into this trade because it doesn't fit our system. So yeah, just all that to say, I guess, just make sure you're following your system. This obviously doesn't meet our system's points, so if you're trading our system, then you don't have a trade today, is essentially what I'm saying. And that's mostly just because the gaps aren't there. We don't have any kind of setups for today. It's more of a sit back, relax, go do something else kind of day. Maybe you could watch price action, but there's nothing happening today that you could get into. There's not even a possibility of an up trade or anything. It's just no trade. This sideways price action. So yeah, I mean, that's really it. That's kind of where we're at. That's kind of what we're thinking. Yeah, I mean, we have no trades really to jump into, so there's no kind of management or anything like that we need to do today. But yeah, I mean, we just came off of a win yesterday, so you can be happy with some money made yesterday, and just be happy to kind of sit on your hands and hang out for today. Maybe we're going to do a little bit of a pullback today, kind of set up, and then tomorrow maybe we'll run up a little higher, or maybe we'll get a down trade tomorrow, down even farther. We'll see. We don't know yet, so yeah, just stay diligent, kind of stay in there. Definitely be checking out the Kubota.com website if you don't need warmer weather. Yeah, I would really like to get more into that bull, sorry, not bear. I'd like to get more into that bull territory, try and get up there, but you know, it's how it is. If the market's going to go down, it's going to go down. We're just going to trade it every day with whatever it gives us. So yeah, I mean, the last couple weeks been pretty boring. We've definitely been sideways to nowhere. The last day or two, we've kind of had some nice, exciting little runs. We've been moving up, and we've been looking at those trades, and it's been pretty nice little last couple days. But you know, we haven't really picked a direction yet, so we can't be too excited. We got to take them when they're here and stay out of them when they're not. And today is definitely a day that there's not a trade. So we'll stay away, and we'll just enjoy, just enjoy your day, and do whatever you do when there's nothing to do on the charts, you know. Yeah, I mean, if y'all are bored, we do have a video releasing at 10, and you can even watch yesterday's if you'd like, but we release a video every day at 10, kind of just going over yesterday's price action, and also like our system. We go over different TA things you should be looking at, different points in the market, kind of what the macro trend is doing, different things like that, kind of similar to a live, but a little more in-depth and maybe more focused format. So if you guys want to kind of level up your trading in that way, make sure you're checking out our lives every day. But yeah, we do have one coming out at 10. Spirit Maker made that for us, so he will be he'll be in that video at 10. So if you guys want to catch that, check that out. That would be awesome. We did just hit 93 subscribers on our channel, so we're looking to hit that 100 goal pretty soon here. Pretty exciting stuff. But yeah, we're looking for to hit that 100. So if you guys are watching this, go ahead and you're not subscribed, especially, go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you can catch those recaps, and also our live streams. Just help us hit that 100 goal. After 100, I don't know where we're going to go. We're hoping to continue developing this, making it even better, growing both our trading skills and also our trading knowledge, and hopefully growing y'all's trading skills and knowledge, and maybe, helping y'all on your road to financial freedom. So yeah, like I said, nothing really going on. So sorry for I guess the short and boring stream, but that's just how it is some days. So yeah, I mean, if you all have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat right now. But if nothing comes up in the next little bit or so, we are going to be signing off and just enjoying the rest of our day. So yeah, I guess we'll be on here until 9, kind of checking out some stuff. Maybe we'll check out what Ethereum and stuff's doing. I'm sure it's probably pretty similar, but we'll see. So we'll head on over here. We'll use a different part of our site. So this is our session control that we were talking about, and we're gonna go to the market radar, or operator suite, I guess is what this is technically called. We'll head to the market radar though, and this is kind of oh yeah, this is something to mention as well. This is the new market radar screen. So what we notice is a lot of times the market will actually set up both ways, and the issue is just that the way that we were trading, we'd know obviously that the market was setting up both ways, but as far as the radar goes, it was only going to tell you the one that was more likely based off how many checkboxes it hit on our list, and I don't know, like, it's not a bad thing. It's definitely the better way to trade, especially if you don't know exactly what you're doing, or you haven't been trading for a while, or you're a little newer. It's better to just kind of follow the basic system, which is just to get into the one that's hitting the most checkboxes, because that's going to be the one that's most likely to do. But yeah, our new system is that we actually have both of them on here. The ones with the star is going to be the one that is more likely to be the trade for today. So obviously it doesn't always mean that that's something you should trade. It just means that it is the favored position out of long and short for the day. So for today, everything is long basically. We got it favored 0.02 on Bitcoin, 0.34 on Ethereum, and 0.14 on Sol. However, those gaps are not very big. If you watch our gap video, which is actually right here in the Academy tab, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, find the gaps, that's the one that you're looking at. If you use that, you can kind of see what we're talking about with the gaps. There's also a downloadable PDF right here that kind of talks about the gaps and stuff like that on it as well. So if you want to kind of get some more information on like what do we even mean by gaps, or what even are gaps, in like what's a good percentage gap, like I don't know, you can go ahead and check those out. But typically we're looking about 0.5% and up, just for a general rule of thumb. Obviously you want to look a little more into that. The more you know, the better, you know. So yeah, check that out if you haven't already. But essentially there's nothing going on today. The only thing even close is going to be Ethereum with that 0.34, but again, it's not super promising just because it's so small. And we can check out the Ethereum chart as well. The one nice thing from the radar screen, if we're on here, is you can go ahead and hit the copy data button over here, and that'll copy your indicator data. So you just have to go back to TradingView now and paste your data right into the indicator here, just like that, and that'll set up your new lines for you. So super easy, super simple. Yeah, you can see Ethereum does have a little bit of gap. The one thing is there's a difference also, and you'll probably, I guess, learn this as you either kind of watch us and learn a little bit, or just watch the channel. But if the daily resistance or the daily support are inside of the lines, so actually like today is a pretty good example. So you can see this one's outside of the lines. That means that we just have like a normal long, I believe we're calling it the magnet trade. We've kind of changed the name a couple different times between like sniper and magnet and stuff like that, but that would be our magnet trade to the upside. Obviously the gap is not big enough, so you don't have to worry about it today. And then the flip side of that, so when the support is inside of, or I guess the resistance up here is inside of the zone. We call it no man's land, but the zone between the breakout and the breakdown, so kind of the zone in between the middle there, that would be where we're talking about. If that's there, like if you have your support or your resistance inside of there, then that means that it's called a jailbreak trade. And jailbreak is just basically jailbreaks just tend to run a little bit longer is essentially what it is, and a little bit stronger, so you're more likely to hold those for a little bit longer of a period of time. So yeah, and I mean, you can go watch our videos on it. They definitely go a little more in depth than I kind of did. That was kind of a general rule of thumb on our system, but yeah, so hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Again, yeah, sorry there wasn't too much going on in the market today. Hopefully next week we'll be back up and at 'em. Maybe we'll get a close above our line and we'll be looking more bullish next week, or at least, you know, picking a direction, and we'll be looking for that. So yeah, thank y'all for coming. Hopefully y'all have a good rest of your February. We'll see you again next week, March 3rd, back here for another live stream. Yeah, but yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll catch y'all then. Happy trading, y'all.